Assalamu alaikum. The occupation of Palestine is a dagger in the heart of the Muslim lands, a dagger in the heart of the Muslims. And the dagger is being controlled by the Zionist entity. The Zionist entity that has no limits, no boundaries when it comes to it. So whenever they wish, they're able to plunge this dagger even deeper, twist this dagger even more viciously in the heart of the Muslims, as we've seen in recent months. The most holy site for the Muslims after Masjid al-Haram and Masjid al-Nabi, it's a precious jewel that is protected by Muslim lands and surrounded by Muslim lands. Surrounded by Muslim lands and Muslim armies who number in millions, this precious jewel. And this precious jewel was stolen from under the nose of the Muslims while this ummah was sleeping and while it had no shield and no khalif. And it's unimaginable, really, when you think about it, that it would be possible for these thieving Zionist dogs to come and take Masjid al-Aqsa. For them to be able to drop bombs on Muslims, kick them from their homes, kill their children, and do all sorts of different things. Literally just forcing them out of their homes. And they've been more vicious in this recently. So I'll ask the question that everyone's asking now. How is it possible that the Muslims are so great in number and we're unable to do anything about it? And what needs to be done about it? What can we do about it?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Jazakallah once again for coming. Fantastic turnout. All the Muslims in Stoke Trent who are bothered to show up have shown up. So Allah reward you for that. And the reason why it's a very important event isn't because me or Hamza are on the panel and we want to kind of make it, make our faces some kind of limelight. The reason why it's a very, very important event today is because of the topic. Yeah, from occupation to liberation, the role of the Muslim youth, us guys. Yeah, if you're below the age of 30 in Islam, you're classed as the youth, or 40. And we've seen what happened. We saw what happened towards the end of Ramadan. We saw what happened to the Muslims. They were being bombed, they were being butchered, their homes were being smashed up. We also saw the video, the pictures coming out of Palestine. Yeah, everybody here has seen the video. When the dad, he comes back home and he finds out that his 4 kids have been killed in one attack. Yeah, people have seen these videos. We saw the video where you got a young boy who's shaking the dead body of his dad, too young to even comprehend what death is. Is my dad asleep? What's going on? Too young to realize. We've seen the videos where you've had a mother being congratulated on the death of her children for them becoming martyrs. People are giving her flowers. This is in Palestine. This is what we saw. And even more recently, literally today, yesterday, day before, I'm sure you guys have seen, it's been blowing up again on social media. Videos have been coming out. Rockets have been fired again now, the past few days. And I'm sure, or I hope, that people here, they are not calling on, or they are not expecting the UN to liberate Palestine. They're not expecting Joe Biden, American president, to liberate Palestine. I really, really do hope that none of you here expects to wake up in the morning and read the headlines, Boris Johnson has liberated Masjid al-Aqsa. And if some of you are hoping for that, then we can chat about that after. But seriously, we all know, and we all should know, as Muslims, Palestine was only ever liberated in the past in one way. And it will only ever be liberated in the future in one way. And that is for the Muslim armies to go and liberate Palestine under an Islamic leadership. That's the only way it has ever been liberated before, twice in the past. And that's the only way it will ever be liberated in the future. And to be honest, this time around, the youth, they made it quite clear. I've seen a lot of youth on social media especially asking that same question. Where's the Turkish army? Where's the Pakistani army? The Egyptian army? The Saudi army? Why isn't anybody doing anything about it? Pakistan can fight and send its troops to Waziristan or to Afghanistan. Turkey can send its troops and does have troops right now in Libya, in Syria. Egypt has troops elsewhere. Saudi has troops elsewhere. So why can't they move the army for Palestine? This is a question that a lot of people have been asking. A lot of you guys have been asking. You guys have been sending the tweets. You guys have been on social media. I've seen you guys sending the messages out there. Some people I've seen who I'd never expect, the onus is on me, the error is on me. I judge them thinking, they don't give a damn, but they prove me wrong. They've been tweeting, they've been liking, they've been sharing, commenting, discussing with family, discussing with friends, getting that message out there. People are concerned, you see. And again, just like the Prophet ﷺ said, مَنْ رَأَى مِنْكُمْ مُنْكَرٍ فَلْيُغَيِّرْهُ بِيَدِهِ فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ. Whoever sees something that's evil, that's wrong, that shouldn't be as it is, he's got to change it with his hand. Physically, you have to change it. And if you can't, if you don't have the ability to, then you've got to speak out against it. At least. And again, none of us here are the general of an army. None of us are here can make change happen at the snap of our fingers. But you'll be surprised by Allah. Allah Ta'ala has given each and every one of us here a quality and ability that will allow us to create real change. And before I tell you what that something is, before I tell you what that special quality is, I want to give you a few examples. Does anybody know, open question, anyone know who the highest paid athlete was in the last year? Shout out your answers. Highest paid athlete in the last year.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. Anybody else?
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. Anybody else? Malik? You're right. Conor McGregor made more money last year than Ronaldo, Messi, LeBron James, Neymar. He made $180 million last year. How? How did he make the majority of his money? I would argue with his mouth. Yeah, Conor's a very good fighter. Very good stand-up, very good reaction, genuine KO power. But a lot of other fighters are, some would argue, equally as good. And Conor is a very good stand-up striker. And Silva's a very good stand-up striker. Crowd favourite Don Cerrone is a very good stand-up striker, yeah? These guys are good, handy stand-up fighters, but none of them got anywhere close to where McGregor's got to. And the thing that he said just with his mouth have become international. All of us, I assume everybody here knows some of his quotes, which for obvious reasons I can't say word for word, but to paraphrase, who the heck is that guy? Who the heck is that guy has gone international. Everybody knows. I want to apologize. I want to take this time to apologize to absolutely nobody. Everybody's heard these kind of things. I'm not going to say it in my Irish accent here because it's a bit embarrassing. Yeah, basically, I'll just not do myself any favors. The way he got into Aldo's head, different. The trash talking circus that he had with Mayweather, it's just like, it was literally a circus. It was like a stand-up comedy. But this guy, Conor McGregor, he changed his entire life with his words, and his words have caused him to become the face of sports around the world. Another question. Who is the highest paid YouTuber so far of this year, 2021? Who's the highest paid YouTuber? Shout out your answers.
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast, okay, Mr. Beast. Anyone else? Shout out your answers. No,
Paul.
Logan Paul.
That kid that opens toys.
That kid that opens toys.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Anybody else?
That right approved review.
Oh, that'd be
Right,
Jake Paul,
I
innit?
don't know.
Logan Paul, Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, them two, innit?
Okay. Anyone heard of Ryan KG?
Yeah, that's
That's
him.
the toy as well.
That's the toy guy.
Ryan KG, check this, is a 9-year-old Japanese boy born in America, the highest paid YouTuber of 2021, 9 years old, yeah? And like you guys have said, literally, I'm not making this, he unboxes toys on video and plays with them.
How was your wedding?
I don't know exactly what he's made, but I watched a few seconds of his video. Very, very cringy, but his viewers, well, you know, very cringy, but you know, his viewers, his videos change the way that his viewers, you know, see a certain toy. He's got 30 million subscribers. Yeah, 30 million, more people in England. Nearly, well, about half people in the UK, yeah. 80 million subscribers. He's got over 47 billion views across his videos. 47 billion views across his videos. And again, the impact that he's had on his viewers is just with his mouth. Words, a few cringy videos behind a camera, and bang, he's got 30 million subscribers. Another question. Who's the London man? Sadiq Khan, yeah? Sadiq Khan won the London Mad this year. And anyone know who finished 5th? Niko, yeah? Niko. You don't like to be called Niko. Niko Omilana. Niko is a 23-year-old YouTuber from London, prankster, who decided to run for mayor. As a joke, yeah? He won 50,000 votes. 50,000 votes he won for running as London mayor. And he finished 5th out of 20 genuine politicians, or out of 18 genuine politicians, 2 of them were YouTubers. He finished 5th. That's mad. And again, this guy's a prankster and he won 50,000 votes. How? With his mouth. He used the power of his words. Very creative guy. Very, very creative guy. And he achieved something that most people would think is impossible. So whether it's Conor McGregor, Ryan KG, Niko Omilana, all these people, they've achieved worldwide fame. And they've all spread a message to the people who listen to them. Now, these people, especially Conor, you know, they're nowhere near good role models for us. That's not the intent of this talk, yeah? But there are a lot of points we can take. And you're probably thinking, how the heck can we take lessons from a guy like Conor McGregor in liberating Masjid al-Aqsa? Number 1, all these people carry a message. All these people, knowingly or unknowingly, directly or indirectly, intentionally or unintentionally, they're carrying a message. Conor, his message to the world is that he is the hardest human being, the toughest human being alive on earth today, or at least in MMA. Ryan, he convinces his viewers that the opinion he has of a toy is the opinion worth having or worth listening to. And Niko Omilana, his promise if he won the mayor election was, and I quote, to tell Boris to shush. And he won 50,000 votes. That's his message to the world. And this is point 1, that all these people, they have a message, something that they put their mind to, that they want to get out to the rest of the world. And that's something that they believe in very, very strongly. So what about us? What is the message that we believe in strongly? Yes, part of the message is that we want care, we want concern, we want people to be aware of what's going on in Palestine. But it's more than that. It's more than that. Loads of people are calling for awareness, concern, etc., etc., you know, spreading the message. Fine. But our message has got to be more than that. And it has to start with that we should all be carrying an idea, carrying a message that occupation means liberation. An evil Zionist occupying military requires an opposite Islamic genuine military to remove them. There has to be a message that we carry. What else are we calling for? What else part of the message? Well, you know, no offense to anybody here. I know you're quite handy lads. You think you're quite hard. Think you've got a good left hand, right hand. Admittedly, some of you might even make me sweat a bit. And it's not hard to make me sweat, yeah? But you're not hard enough to take on a Zionist army. I don't give a damn who you are. You're not hard enough to take on 170,000 manpower equipped, nuclear equipped army just by yourselves. Our message has to be out there that, yeah, occupation is liberation. Who's going to liberate? You got Muslim armies there already that exist. Pakistan, I mentioned before, Pakistan, Egypt, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, many other Muslim countries. They exist already. It's their responsibility to go, not me and you. This isn't a jihadi recruitment message where I'm asking you guys to bloody pick up branches and, I don't know, some kitchen knife and let's go, you know, across the flipping, across the Mediterranean Sea. That's not the message here at all. And the last part of the message, that if we actually want to see Masjid al-Aqsa ever be liberated, then they need to be led, or there needs to be a leader that is leading these armies by Islam. The reason why you guys came here to imagine, Allah forbid, yeah, but imagine I asked kuffar to come here, non-Muslims to come here. And I'm saying to the message, I'm going to say, hello, Bob, Ryan, David, John. I'm not saying that Muslims can't have their names, but kuffar have their names. I want you guys to come to a talk today. The role of Muslim youth in liberating Masjid al-Aqsa. They'll tell me, mate, do one. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't give a damn. Yeah, it's bad, it's sad, but what do you want me to do about it? In the same way, how can we expect Muslim rulers or rulers of Muslims ruling by non-Islamic law to then liberate Masjid al-Aqsa? Why are they? They've got nation-state borders. They've got their own flag. They've got their own people to represent. And none of their laws tell them to do so anyway. It's no concern for them. So that's point one. We need to be men with a message. We have to be men with a message, and we need to be clear what this message is, and we need to give this message to other people. Point number two, we need to be active and committed. We can't just be like, you know, sitting down, chilling all day, munching all day, playing, you know, games all day, and then expect to make it or to get the message out there. You think Conor or Niko or Ryan just sit back on the backside all day, do nothing, and then they've amassed 30 million YouTube subscribers? Obviously not. McGregor, for example, all of these guys have put the work in. Just McGregor's diet plan, very regimented. Pre-breakfast, water, and then he does a fasted cardio, 30 minutes. For breakfast, coffee, eggs, salmon, baked apples. For a snack, Greek yogurt. For lunch, red meat, chicken breast. For a pre-workout, you had nuts and fruit. Post-workout, you had the shake, coconut water. Dinner, chicken, fish, steak. And late night, he had hot tea. If he's in training camp, he'll have green tea. That's very regimented. And this is like every day. Combination here and there, but this is basically every day. Ryan, the toy reviewer, the 9-year-old kid, yeah, he releases about 4 or 5 videos every week. That's a lot. That's a lot of videos. It takes time, takes effort, come up with ideas, come up with themes, come up with a script, come up with a toy. I don't know how many toys you can review. Because they're bare cringy, I'm just thinking about it now. So proper cringy videos, but go check it out. But the guy's creative, gotta give him that. And it takes time for title, recording, editing. But this guy, he produces 4 or 5 videos a week. That's why he's got 30 million subscribers. Niko, aka Ringside. This guy, you know, you gotta give him, hats off to him because he puts on a lot of work, man. I mean, I was watching a few of his videos when I've seen him sneak into the boxing ring and that. He's done it a few times, but he puts a lot of work in. Comes up with an idea. He's been speaking to people beforehand. He made fake VIP passes and fake tickets. Once, I think he even come in a costume as a Muslim guy with a beard and a jubba. So he puts in the work, he puts in the effort, he tries to think his plan through. And above all, he's a daring guy. He's not afraid to, you know, if you guys seen that, the prank that he does with that boxer, you know, he's a daring guy, you know, and he puts hard work in. Now, yes, your diet or toy reviews or pranks, that's not what I'm saying is going to liberate Palestine, obviously. But my point is that these people, they put a lot of time and a lot of effort into their work, which allows them to spread their message in a better way. So when Conor talks his talk, probably the best trash talk of all time, arguably, he backs it up. Most of the time, he backs it up. He got into Aldo's head, he won the belt, he knocked Alvarez out, first ever UFC simultaneous double champ. different weight divisions ever. Yeah?
Never defended though.
Well, yeah, he never defended, but he won the belt, right? He was the first ever to win 2 simultaneous belts. He ended up being pound for pound number 2 in the world. Yeah? Pound for pound number 2 in the world. Same for Niko. 23-year-old prankster, ran for mayor. He didn't ask people from his bedroom, WhatsApp or Instagram, hi guys, please vote for me. He put in the hard work. He went out there, creative, unique, daring, funny, got people's attention, and he won 50,000 votes. And this is point 2. We need to be active, we need to put the work in. We can't expect to liberate Palestine by doing the bare minimum. And again, don't underestimate yourself. Really, don't underestimate yourself. There's so much you can do, and there's so much you've already done. There are guys here, or guys who should be here, or guys related to that person who should be here, who put a video out on Twitter. I've seen that video where you've got tens of thousands of Muslims in Palestine calling for the Pakistani army to liberate them. One guy, whose brother is here, put that video on Twitter. It got tens of thousands of views. In fact, somebody's dad, who's sitting here, got 1.5 million views on a Twitter video. From Stoke-on-Trent. Both of these guys are from Stoke-on-Trent. People always say, oh, we're from Stoke though. Oh, we're from, yeah, okay, Stoke ain't the best city, yeah, no doubt. But if a guy's video can go viral, 1.5 million views from Stoke-on-Trent, that shows you that actually you guys can do something. And you guys have done something. Hands up if you've got siblings. Everybody got siblings here. Hands up if you've got cousins. So I assume everybody here at least got siblings or cousins. Talk to them. I'm not asking you guys to go to a random stranger in a random masjid from a random area and give them a talk. You've got family members, friends, cousins, siblings, nieces, nephews. Some of you might have kids. Speak to them. Give that message. It's not that hard. If you put your mind to it, it's not that hard at all. And again, you know, if we all just gave that message to our family members, we would see a level, you know, an increase in the level of the Ummah. We would see that. If everybody here just talked to their family members, that's it. And the last lesson we can take from these 3 people mentioned before, you know, sometimes we get the impression that McGregor, he's achieved everything by himself. McGregor, the one-man army, he's done everything by himself. Sometimes we get the impression that Ryan KG, you know, with cringy videos, he's just done it all himself. And sometimes we think, Niko, he's so creative, he made it all by himself. This is a complete lie. Complete lie. McGregor, for example, he got a head coach, John Kavanagh, I don't know if I said that right, yeah? He got a diet coach, strike coach, he got a wrestling coach, boxing coach, sparring partner, his biggest promoter, Dana White. His biggest promoter, Dana White, when he's screaming his name, got his name out there, you know, the face of UFC, even at home. He's got a wife and family who are his support-based, emotional support-based, you know, personal support-based. So Conor would never ever be able to achieve what he achieved without his team. And again, this team all together were working together in a certain direction. That was probably to become the most famous and make the most money. Ryan KG. Anyone know how old he was when he started YouTubing? 3. 3 years old when he started YouTube. Allah, if he could even speak. Or if he was just there with like a toy card. Just like, you know, I don't know. 3 years old he was when he started YouTubing. Do you think he did the editing and the recording and bought the toys and, you know, did all the theme about it by himself? Obviously not. Initially his parents helped him. Then he got editing team involved. Then he got promoters involved, marketers involved. He got all these, now he's got a team of people involved just in releasing every video. He didn't do it by himself. He had a team of people around him working in the same direction. Niko, he made collaboration with other YouTubers. He used to be part of Beta Squad. He's had editing teams, recording team. Was he part of Beta Squad? Is that incorrect? Apparently he was, right? He got Beta.
Yeah,
In English it's Beta, right? But Beta Squad. He got editing, recording, media teams. He didn't achieve what he achieved by himself. And again, in the same way, this dawah, this call for liberation of Palestine and our involvement in it, is not just a funky idea that me and Hamza, we sat down together one day over a cup of coffee and we thought, yeah, you know what, Khilafah sounds like a good idea. Muslim armies liberating Palestine sounds like a good idea. Why don't we just ask, Imran Khan from Pakistan or Erdogan from Turkey, let's just call them and make it happen? It's not our idea. It's not our funky idea that we made in the bedroom together, to come up with this thing that, oh, fantastic. No. This is an organized effort. And it's an organized group who is also part of this effort. It requires an organized group to bring back the Islamic Khilafah in the Muslim world, to liberate not only Palestine, but all the Muslim countries, all the oppressed people. And in case you didn't know, there's only one group out there in the world today that is actively calling for this objective. And in line with Islam, in my opinion. And that is Hizb ut-Tahrir. And the video of Muslims in Palestine calling for the Pakistani army to liberate them, to rescue them. Did you know that was actually a rally organized by Hizb ut-Tahrir? The call for demanding the rulers to rule by Islam is a specific message of HT. And the thousands of youth who've been calling for the Muslim armies to liberate Palestine. I've seen under Imran Khan's Instagram and Erdogan's Instagram, youth have been calling, where the Pak army, where the Turkish army, or they're just there as a decoration. This is a message and this is an idea that has been brought about by Hizb ut-Tahrir. And I challenge anybody, nicely, a nice challenge, to show me one group other than Hizb ut-Tahrir that calls for these things as a collective. Yeah, you have one or two guys here and there, brilliant. But as a collective, as a group, as an organized effort, who else has got this message? And this isn't me trying to pump up HT and make everybody else look bad. We're the only one on hop, everybody else is on batil. No, we're not saying that at all. But credit needs to be given where it's due. Credit has to be given where it's due. And you have to work with the people that are experts in their field. Yeah, who've got an organized and a dawah, an international dawah, which already exists. And again, this is to show that we're not alone, that the global work out there that exists already to put an end to the oppression and occupation of Muslims all over the world. And again, you can't do this alone. Conor didn't do it alone. Ryan couldn't have done it alone. Niko couldn't have got 50,000 votes alone. They all worked with a certain team, with a certain collection of individuals, and likewise we cannot work for the liberation of Palestine without the help of a team, or in this case a group. Another quick summary. Number one, do not underestimate the power of your words. They do have an effect, they have had an effect, and in fact, this is what we see exactly at the time of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in Mecca. Number two, be men with the message. Understand the message that you want to carry and get it out there. To family, to friends, to work colleagues, set up a social media account and get that message to all the people that you can. Number three, work hard. Take this work seriously. If you really want to see Palestine liberated once and for all, you got to put the work in, man. You have to put the work in and show some sincerity and genuine concern towards it. And then lastly, you're not alone. HT is the group that is working and calling for all the above. Reach out to us, discuss with us, question us, debate us, we don't mind. We're not here to say we're all right, you guys are all wrong. If you got certain, even if you disagree, but you want to stamp out certain, misconception or confusion, we're here. We can talk, no problem. And above all else, wallahi, this is an opportunity for reward. A big, big, big reward. Remember, Conor, Niko, Ryan, they all did what they did for a worldly benefit. Either to get famous or mainly for money. Yeah? But for us, we've got an objective way, way, way more than that, man. That's a shallow objective. If your objective is just to make money and that's your be all and end all for the whole of your existence, that's a shallow objective. We've got an objective that we want to reach a place of pleasure for eternity. Think about that. Forever and ever and ever and ever, and you think you get bored, and you do not get bored, and you take a bite of an apple, and the next bite is even more delicious than the first. And this goes on forever. And imagine being raised in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the people that liberated Palestine, with the people that brought back the Islamic Khilafah, with the people that brought back Islam on that world stage. And you're in your grave, dead, rotten, worms have eaten your bodies, but you know what? Reward and light is still entering your grave, Allahu Alam, maybe hundreds of years after you're dead. Why? Because that reward, that work, that effort that you put in this life, that accumulates and accumulates and accumulates. And that one person that you talk to, he went back to his own country, talked to his friend, whose dad used to be part of the army, who knows somebody who's actually a serving general, who made one phone call to a battalion that removed the government right now, and they put an Islamic government in there. You don't know the consequences of your actions. You actually don't know. And because of that one thing, they implemented Islam. Palestine was liberated, Burma, Yemen, Kashmir, Central African Republic, and you're getting reward, and you've died 200-300 years ago. You don't know the consequences of your action. The Prophet ﷺ said, Wallahi, لأن يهدي الله بك رجلا خير لك من أن يكون لك حمر النعم. By Allah, that Allah guides a man, just one man, through you, through your actions, through what you did, through your message, is better for you than a herd of expensive red camels. And for those who don't know, some camels are up to 20-30 grand. One guy in Saudi Arabia, he owns a herd of camels. He owns a herd of camels that is worth $40 million. But for Allah to guide one person through you, through your actions, is better than all of that. For us to be dawah carriers in this day and age is an opportunity we cannot miss. And I urge all of you, really, take this opportunity so that we can be raised in front of Allah, heads held high, and the book of good deeds in our right hand. And that really is the whole essence of our creation. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين جزاك الله خير.